Let's edit. Let's see.
I gotta reset. All right, say something, Travis.
Test. Sanio and list is the name of the stream.
Yeah, looks like the stream is fine.
Let's see. Soda weekly dev stream. How's that? We don't have MMO. Why do we not have MMO as a tag? Is that not
Is
a
that
tag?
not a tag?
Let's see.
It's not a tag. Let's see, online. Is that a tag? Nope. That's it.
Nope. Yeah, I tried all those. Yeah. All right. Whatever.
Multiplayer.
Well,
I put multiplayer.
usually that's for like people playing with like. It could be. I don't know.
Oh, like currently there's like the four guys.
Currently they're playing like here's my friend code to come play on stream with me or whatever. Connecting to chat is not loading. Oh, is Twitch gonna freak out on us the second we hit play?
My chat looks fine.
Your chat looks fine? Mine's just like loading. You see anybody chatting?
Yeah.
How's our volume? Because I can't see chat.
They said it was good. It sounded good to me.
I'm just gonna refresh and see if that helps.
Nebby Ear Wiggle said test works. Cage Storm confirmed for both of us.
There we go. Volumes are good. I apologize. There's a thin wall behind me, and
that siren's coming past me.
No, that's from you. That's not from me.
That's me this time.
Yeah, between the two of us, there'll be plenty of traffic. This is the pre-stream. We got 5 minutes until the actual stream.
There's no raffle today for those people who are already thinking that they should do the raffle. That's a Chris thing.
Yeah, we should announce that again too after 4.
Yeah.
But there are prizes.
Yeah, we will have the normal prize thing.
The normal Friday stream prizes.
Dr. Bob is going to feed me that information and later on. Yeah, you can just give us all prizes. Oh, okay. That's a solution.
All right.
I guess. So you can't see the chat, Travis?
I can see the chat. I refreshed. I'm good now.
Oh, okay. I don't like refreshing Twitch because if you do have some of the chat in there, then that all goes away.
It does kill it, yeah. But it does get rid of a delay, like if you have a nasty delay.
I will open up a new window, and then after
so you get the overlap? Yeah. That's a good way to do it. I think I do it that way.
What is the secret phrase for this month? Asks Kleppo.
It is Happy Birthday, Lord British, or Happy Belated Birthday, Lord British.
Happy Belated Birthday, Lord British is the real one.
We didn't come up with a new one. We will for next Friday.
Yeah.
We realized that his birthday month is over. Alright, still in pre-stream. We got 3 minutes.
Snugs is asking did the stream start early. It didn't officially start yet. We're just doing it's just me and Travis this time, so we're just making sure. We did a test before, but we shut everything down, so we want to make sure we logged in a couple minutes early to make sure everything works.
Exactly.
Anthrax Artex says, give me truth virtue, pretty please.
So, yeah, you go ahead and tell him.
So, Travis has been, with Liz Rostov, he's been sharing, well, we'll go through the full introductions later. He's been sharing a bunch that some players have been checking in with him, wishing that some of their virtue scores could be adjusted. When we talk about Alpine later, I'll talk about how some of the ways that can help you adjust your virtue score. But what I also did was so there's a few places here and there where you can affect your virtue in one-off ways. Obviously, you can steal your truth in the gutter because you're stealing.
Don't be stealing.
But are there good ways to get truth? Well, you can tell NPCs your name. That's slow. I put in something that I guess is not in for this release. It'll be for the next release, which is kind of the truth equivalent of the beggar coin. So if you didn't know about the beggar coin, when you go with your beggar, he'll ask if you can have a gold coin. You could give him one, or you could not give him one. If you didn't know,
Chad.
giving him one gives you a little bit of love, and rejecting him gives you a little bit of negative love, and you can do that once per day. So I'm going to put in the equivalent. Basically, some bartenders, innkeepers, if you have an opportunity to tell them about your day, and if you share the details, you get a little bit of positive truth, and if you share nothing, then you get a little negative truth.
Oh, we should do, what's his name in the fall? He should be one of those. Not exclusively before the non-PvPers get mad.
In the fall.
The skeleton bartender you said it?
Yeah.
I forget his name.
All right. Yeah.
He'd be a good one for
Let me put it up. And good listener is the little code name I give that thing.
Nice.
To
Love it.
the bartender.
There's an NPC in the...
So it's a daily quest, but it's shared. So that means if you share the details with one of these NPCs, then that's it. So it's not like you can like constantly flood yourself. You can't like go to every one of these beggars and get a ton of love, or every one of these bartenders get a ton of truth. Just incremental.
Do you?
My goal is to put in multiple ways for you to sort of manage your truth or love or courage, and maybe I'm not going to give you the full details of how much gets changed, but it should be a little bit more on at the opportunities. Like if you're going to lie in a conversation response, obviously you'll get some negative truth. Or if there's virtue to be changed, it should be more obvious. Anyway, so that's that. And I have some other ideas in mind. Like I said, oh fine, when we get to that, we'll be talking about it.
And Traxxas.
But I see it's 4 o'clock by my...
Yeah, let's do our official...
So we're officially starting. Woo!
Happy Friday, everybody. Today, Star and Chris are both out, so Keith and I, if it was the studio, would be taking over the office and having a party. Not really. So it's just us today, and then Bobby's gonna... I don't know if he's gonna voice in or just feed us via chat the prizes.
He's just gonna feed it through the chat, and then I'll let everyone know what his surprising magic awards people.
So you just got us two. There's no raffle. It's the regular Friday prize where you put in the phrase, and there's 2 ways, right? 2 ways to win a prize. Got to do that spiel.
Yeah.
One is to type the phrase, the prize phrase, in any chat channel in the game, local, global. Please don't spam the heck out of global, but you can if you want. Who cares? And the phrase is "Happy belated birthday, Lord British." And I think Bobby's also looking for "Happy birthday, British, Lord British" still. So, yeah, thank you, Sandy, for typing it out. So type that any chat channel in the game. You'll be added to the list of possible prize winners.
Yeah.
And then the other way is by purchasing anything in the Crown Store. Is that correct today?
I always forget.
Or any
So I make
purchase
such
of
a big deal
crowns.
about the 2 ways, and then I just sort of zone out when I start explaining.
any purchase on the store, which includes
that's
crown
right.
crown purchase. So it's the act of buying crowns, not the act of buying something with the crowns, I believe. Probably gonna get yelled at if that's wrong, but pretty sure that's right. So how's everybody doing? It's Friday. We are probably gonna do not like a 3-hour stream, maybe like an hour and a half, 2. And we're going to show off some of the new adventure spaces we're working on. I got a brand new dungeon from scratch, and then Keith is totally overhauling Ulfheim. Might as well be from scratch, and so he's going to show that also. We've shown you some of it in previous streams. I know during the week, on the weekdays, Sanio here has been streaming some of his what's the word I'm looking for?
If people have been watching, then they will... They'll see. I did a little bit more of Ulfheim last night in the little valley area, so you might have to pick that up, Travis. So right now, what we're looking at is Travis is driving. So this is on Travis's computer, what we're seeing in the game, and I will be just chiming in here and there.
Chris says there's big news we're going to tell us. I don't know what that is.
Oh, hold on. Player asked us to share that ad, basically. I'm going to bring it up right now before we forget.
Which ad is that?
The swap meet. Which happens 1 p.m. on Sundays every week. I'm going to read what he wrote, what Vladimir wrote.
Yeah.
It gives new and old alike a chance to sell or buy stuff quickly and easily. There's almost always a market for raw materials, so gatherers shouldn't miss it. It lasts only half an hour, trading is fast, and then you're back to adventuring. There's bank access, so no need to carry anything to the meet. Just put it in your bank.
Swap
The location, yes, swap meet. The location moves. We announce where it is in Universe Chat in the game. It's 1 p.m. Central / New Britannia time on Sundays. So there you go. Keep an eye out on the Universal Chat for when that 1 p.m. Central swap meet happens on Sundays.
Cool. Does that mean President of Earth is Vladimir Benjamin? Was that a secret? Now he's outed himself.
No.
We're adding Tramo. Yeah, we're adding Tramo Antrax. That's the big news. Just kidding. Just kidding. Keith and I are both old UO heads, and yeah, we were not.
Yeah, I had a large smithy guild house for a long time there.
Okay.
Which eventually turned into a rune library.
So we just had R68 not too long ago. There's been a few patches, and some cool stuff came in with the patches. Check out the Crown Store. There's some cool new vault stuff. There's decos and a wizard tower house, and
people are loving your fog generator thing.
Oh yeah,
I don't know what the official name is that you made.
I think it's just called VFX Ground Fog or something. But yeah, Ken and I cooked up some, kind of as a test case, but it worked pretty well. Some placeable for your house or your lot. Really works best in dungeons, and that's what I expected to be dungeons and basements.
I'm going to share a link to that message board thread for people to look at it.
So this is one of many VFX decos. So already people are asking, can we get butterflies? Can we get fireflies? So yes, the answer is yes. This test case went really well, so we're going to be adding all kinds of placeable VFX. Yeah, people have been. Yeah, a lot of people have been fogging up their outhouses. Yeah, fireflies is on the list, and butterflies. There's orange butterflies. There's blue butterflies.
Nice.
Fog Jenner is stuck on the tracks in the mining dungeon entrance. Try grabbing the bottom of the cube if you guys are moving the cubes. It's possible that the bottom of the cube is now clipping into the collision of the tracks. We can look into that. And that sounds like a problem with the tracks and not the fog itself. So I'll look at the... You're talking about the 5 entrance mining foyer? Here, we'll make a note. Yeah, try that cipher, but let me make a note right now.
Grimace says, can the ground fog produce more fog? It's difficult to see in a well-lit place.
I erred on the side of subtle for the first one.
That's good. So we get variations. Maybe
we're gonna get
large colors.
Yeah, larger ones. We're gonna get more opaque ones. 5 entrance. Okay, cool. I'll look into it. It's very possible that just the collisions are overlapping and you can't grab it again. But always grab the bottom of the cube. It creates a cube, but grabbing any side but the bottom is really tricky. So I suggest.
Lord of Honesty suggests mosquitoes. That'd be kind of interesting. Like if you have like a swampy area or a bunch of dead bodies somehow.
We have, I've made quite a lot of, internally, some nasty flies. There's, like, one version that, like, sits on a wall, and they all go stick on the wall. There's one that, like, sticks on a table, and then they fly around and kind of land back on the table. And then there's also just, like, they float around in the air in a swarm of flies. So we can do, like, horse flies for you guys that like doing the gross,
these
gross corpsey dungeons.
They don't have to just be on the ground. You can put them on a table or something.
So the ones we just created do have to be on the ground because there's a lot of horizontal planes. So if you put them on a shelf, you'd walk up and just see the behind the curtain of Oz or whatever, and you don't want to see it like that. Yeah, and Captain Ron's hunt. Did I put some flies there? Yeah, Captain on fishing expedition. So we will make some. There'll be more though that are just a little more ambient that you could put on top of a table and won't have those elements. So lots more different variations of VFX. Seems like it worked pretty well. Like I said, that was kind of a test case, and seems to work well. And other colors and stuff like that too. How is ground fog related to video display options? How does fog affect performance? It's just a particle effect. So like if you were to put down a brazier and it has smoke, it's basically you're paying for smoke. I think they cost 5 decos so people don't black hole the server with overlapping a bunch of overdraw. Overdraw, so if you don't know, in games, to render a pixel in a game, if there's alpha blended or any kind of transparency of any kind of polygons between your camera and the pixel you're trying to view, it's gonna like count every single plane you're seeing through. So we can't make them super cheap, or people will just they'll just kill the graphics card, and then if you run next to it, it'll be awful. So try not to line them up in straight lines so you can see through them all, which is true of any VFX deco, like what do you call it, braziers and things with smoke.
By the way, this is the Shroud of the Avatar stream, and we both work on Shroud of the Avatar. I'm the quest and level design guy, Keith Quinn. I post the Sanyo on the forums. And Travis, you can introduce yourself.
I'm Travis. I'm a world builder, environment guy. Do some VFX. I did change the stream name. Did it not take?
Let me see.
Oh yeah, look at that. Try to refresh. Mine says Soda Weekly Dev Stream, New Adventure Scenes Preview, Sanyo List Presentings. Give it a refresh, because we did it after we started, so if you got in here early, then... Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, just refresh.
Yeah, right.
I did it after we started. And then there's a cool new permission stuff for those of you who do... we know we've changed a lot of the permission rules, kind of working up to... functionality we want in the future. Oh yeah, channel updates. Yeah, that takes a little bit for some people. So one thing we did add, that if the owner of a lot puts down a chest and fills it with deco, that someone can come in and do a higher deco job, drag stuff out of the chest and put it on the ground, and the owner of that chest that put him in there is still the owner. So I know a lot of people started doing that. How are decorative braziers related to chainmail undergarments? I don't know how to answer that. I think they're asking for some skimpy chainmail. Have you seen that video of, there's like the adventures and they keep asking for the chainmail, and then the female goes up and asks for the chainmail, and they're like, no,
Epic NPC man?
Yeah, like, no, you don't want that.
I've been watching their...
no, you don't want that.
I just watched all of them.
He's like, no, I want the chainmail. And
mega cuts, whatever they call it.
She gets like
great.
Super sexist bikini chainmail. Female plate mail. Some of the plate mail has it. One of my favorite parts of Game of Thrones is that Brienne's armor was just armor. Like, no smith's gonna go mold out some booby armor, but it is kind of cool looking if done right. So we got all kinds of new wearables and stuff that Damon has a big list chipping away at. So maybe someday, as Star, who's not here, would Shield Hero, is that what it's called? Yeah. As Star's not here, he would stress us to not give ETAs, but in the works. So this is a dungeon that I'm working on, a new adventure area. I'll give the same spiel. You guys have seen this in the same room a bunch, and that in the north, the far north of Novia, a bunch of the northerners keep going on a quest to their afterlife, or what they think is some mystical island, expecting something good like the realm of the gods, but it's not what they expect. And so the ships are all burning and they crash and a bunch of people have died. But there's more content than the last time you saw it. So we have a couple issues that arose today, so bear with us. Like, oh, the projector works again. Let me jiggle the handle. So there's some lighting issues, so this won't be final lighting or anything like that, but bear with us. So kind of the theme is like frozen, creepy north. I think we brought up in previous live streams, we all love Clan of the Cave Bear. It at the studio. So, I'm sorry, not Clan of the Cave Bear. That's a totally different movie. 13th Warrior.
13th Warrior.
The Bear Clan Cave. Yeah, not Clan of the Cave Bear. Totally different thing. But also cool.
I don't remember talking about Clan of the Cave Bear.
Yeah, we've also talked about that. So I had there's going to be a bunch of frozen halls with some horrible, nasty, giant polar bears roaming around. And right now, unpopulated, the spawners aren't turned on, so there's not...
So, is this, asking from a world building question, so these look like the tunnels that we already have, but did you change the textures on these tunnels?
I did. There's a material change and just some tweaks, just some texture and material tweaks. There is are you going
to save the separate pieces?
Actually, they're already... yeah, I already did. They're already saved, and they're actually already on the store. You can buy Frozen Cave Room. Or no, they were live stream rewards.
Okay. So if I wanted to use these pieces, then they're all set for me.
Yeah, they should be.
Nice.
We'll double check that after the stream if you want to do some.
You have like the ground that is a little different, and you have those icicles in there. So
yeah, I'm hand placing the VFX, but the live stream reward version of the Frozen Cave Hall should come with the effects built in.
The ground looks like is it like sand or dust or something?
It's supposed to be snow. It's supposed to be frozen.
Okay.
We can work on that.
I see now when you tilt it. I see it's got that shiny little bit of a.
I may need to tweak the spec. It just kind of looked like frosting or something. Ganache, is that what it's called? So this is going to be a very high level tier content. We know we're working on the new user experience a bunch, which we desperately need to do for new players, retention, just smoothness, getting just people in the game and having a new experience, but we were neglecting super high-end tier stuff. We know you guys were getting bored, so been given the green light to go ahead and make a new dungeon.
There's a huge cavern that you just walked into.
Yeah, it's big.
So if you look up, how can we see the ceiling, or is it too far away?
It's big, which has brought up a lot of issues with lighting, because I think some of the hard-coded optimization stuff that the programmers have done a great job with lately. I've been on a few streams and people have noticed, but some of it's hard-coded, so they're giving us overrides for trying to make an adventure scene as you normally would. So yeah, this is not the realm of their nice gods. It's a really ancient, nasty dungeon.
So I'm going to mention some stuff in the chat. Cyberblack pointed out that he had
the fog moving to work. It's probably the collision on the tracks. I'll go look at it after the stream.
Yeah.
So everybody, don't put fog on your tracks in the mining foyer for now.
I lost where the question was, but somebody asked about artifacts. Chris, that's Chris's baby, so you'll have to ask him about artifacts.
Yeah, to reiterate, I kind of make the art shell and the space for the environments and some spawning. And then Keith is really the puzzles and quest and spawning, and so if it's related, it's not within that realm of our expertise. We wear a lot of hats, but we don't program, either of us, or create new crafting stuff. So you can go ahead and ask the question, because if you do, it'll get sent to a log, and then we comb over all of those. So feel free to ask questions. We may ignore it if we just don't know, or we may say, I don't know. Oh, somebody likes the mannequins. Yeah, mannequins are in. That's another huge thing people have been asking for years and years and years. I don't know if we've had a stream since we made the mannequins. Maybe they were in when we did the lava fishing tournament, but there's craftable...
We didn't show them off, though, but they're pretty cool.
Yeah, there's craftable mannequins, and then if you want, like, in the little cooler poses, you can go in the Crown store and find them there. But you can just craft them if you want, as we try to do with a lot of our stuff. So there's a lot of, like, weird caves and stuff I've added to this chamber since last time. It looks like I saved some better water settings last night, but I didn't paste them over, so this is obviously going to be some horrible, nasty spider encounter in this room.
Do you have a lot of webs in yet?
Yeah, there's webs. Decent amount of webs.
The Real Black Axe, by the way, asks, can Travis have a promotion?
We all really don't have titles anymore. I think we all do 9 people's job.
Yeah.
If that means I do another job, then no thanks. I'm good.
And another question is, can we get armor visibility on the mannequins? Wouldn't you just take the armor off?
Yeah, armor. What does he want?
Can we get mannequins where the armor is visible so we can show off our enchants / masterworks?
Oh, I think they mean so you can mouse over the mannequin. Like they're probably
So you can see the
yeah,
stats.
they probably have like an
Oh.
armor shop, and they want people to come browse, but be
I
able
see.
to see the stats before they buy.
Right, so
possibly
you don't just see that it's a chess piece, you see that's a chess piece with
yeah,
A, B, and C benefits.
yeah. That sounds possible, but again, Keith and
Yeah,
I.
that's a programmer thing.
Yeah, we don't want to answer for our teammates, and then people get mad. But that sounds totally doable. So maybe someday.
I support your
we
request.
apologize for a lot of maybe someday answers, but I like
Yeah.
it and it makes sense. I'm gonna assume they have an armor shop, and they want people to come check it out before they before they buy. So you come in, fight on the stairs. There's gonna be
So
some.
how big would you say this dungeon area is? Could you compare it to like another dungeon as far as like square footage? Like is it a small dungeon
I'd say it's. I'd say
like Solania Catacombs?
it's bigger than Solana Catacombs. Well, that has all the extra like crypts and
It's
stuff.
got a lot of hallways, so it's hard to.
Yeah. So this is all the square footage hallways. So this is.
How about like the Elysium mines? That's pretty big and big cavern. Would you say it's bigger or smaller than this?
Little smaller. So I'm gonna do this in wings. So I'll just keep expanding, but I do want it to go live, and then I can just add another wing to it. Kind of like if you guys have played other MMOs, like what was the WoW one? Like Blackrock Mountain had like 9 different dungeons that spun off of it. So.
Yeah. Strider Green asked a question about.
Yeah, I haven't seen that and don't know. If you bug it, Strider, that sounds like a good way for the best programmer to get your information from the log if you do it.
So I got a prizing, first prizing popping up. Along the.
Oh, cool.
All right, you ready? I'm gonna read it off. Here we go.
Ready.
Older dude gets the brown tricorn hat. Ian,
Nice.
IAIN, gets the water.org glowing mug. Carrie Death, Caree, Death, gets the ornate wealthy merchant outfit.
Cool.
Artemis Sumatra gets the ornate outhouse from the water.org charity.
Oh, I like that. The white one with the walls and stuff.
Tiante gets the Shogun bathtub.
Nice.
And Donald John Trump gets the rustic 3-story village water home. There you go. Prizing number 1. Check that off. We're cruising along, Travis.
So can we make the gems and saga items be removed, replaced, and just destroy it to add a different gem? So you just want to swap it out. As far as I know, the functionality would be, so you stamped in gear rolls that are based on after you put the gem in, so that gets a little tricky. That is a crafting programmer question. Do the exclamation mark question tree walk so that gets logged. I know people have asked that before, and we don't mind the spam. We know you're repeating it. That's okay. We can't answer that between the two of us. I think there's issue with, like, you stamped out, water attunement because you had the. I have echo in there? Because you had the water gem in there when you did it, so. Oh, do I need to mute my thing? Oh, Darkstar said no to that. So, Darkstar said no. Then that's your answer.
Said no to which?
If they want to remove a gem, like they put a gem on their weapon and crafted it, but then rolled a bunch of stuff, and they want to undo that process. I was explaining why that's a hot mess, potentially, So as far as we know, not in the near future. That's how we will answer that.
So I'm gonna post the names of the winners. Something we don't normally do, but.
Oh yeah, congratulations, guys.
Yeah, congratulations everyone.
Oh, we still got an echo. I know what that is. Probably know what that is. Video capture, mic audio.
Well, there's the winners right there.
Wait, I can't. How's that? Did I fix the echo? Hey, Keith, say something. How am I doing? Echo? It's. Why didn't we do a still echo? Why didn't we do several pre-stream streams to figure out our audio, which was totally set up fine. Oh, I got 2 mics. All right, say something now, Keith.
Saying something now.
How about me? How am I?
Better, fixed.
Cool. Sorry,
Okay,
it didn't
now,
save my
fixed it.
settings. I probably didn't do
Noise, good.
like an apply.
Yeah, fixed, good, bam, better now, better.
Cool. So we're getting some new creatures for this dungeon, and some new functionality.
Creature variants.
Creature variants, yes, creature variants.
I love the lighting that you do. Super awesome.
Yeah, we got some issues, but it should look like this. There's some hard-coded optimizations that made me sad, but Chris told me he's going to override it for me, so I'm excited
Is
about
that lighting pulsing on purpose?
Down here at the bottom? Oh, you mean when it
Yeah,
like...
as you went in. It seemed to kind of pulse.
It-
Like that.
Oh, right here up in the window? It's just into the HDR range, so it should glow.
Oh.
It gets into the
No,
blue,
like
the
if
blue
you
range.
back up to the top of the ramp
Oh, yeah, no, that's just...
and then you start walking in, you can see the light instantly hit the sidewall.
Yeah, that's bullshit auto culling, which Chris he has a solution for me, so when he gets back
Okay.
before this goes live, yeah. No, I do not like that, and I do not want that, but I don't really
Yeah,
have
so
a way.
as you go in, if you look to the left, left and right. Good.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not bad looking because there's that fade that's part of it, but
Yeah.
I
It's-
could tell if it was intentional or not.
It's the distance at which a shadow display or a light displays its shadows. So this will be a portal to another area, which I'm not yet prepared to show you, but I kind of worked on the portal last night. And yes,
So
gonna
will
be
this
some...
be a portal? Do you click on it to go in the other area, or is
So-
it like exit volume? I'm leaving a scene.
Very similar to Artifice or Lost Veil. Actually, I cannibalized the effects from Lost Veil. So, very similar to the different wings of Lost Veil when you go into different memories. If people have been to Lost Veil, it's another zone. You just run into it and you go to, not
Yeah.
very inviting. No, it's nice. There's nice things waiting for you on the other side of that.
It's a
for
nice
sure.
little vacation.
Yeah.
So you got some water going on down there, falling on that guy's head.
Yeah, and there's gonna be, all kinds of like little places to find. Like you fall down there, and there's a hallway to another area, and so hopefully like a bunch of just different sections that people can come in the open dungeon, run around, and some people can be doing one part of the dungeon, other people can do another, or if you have a real high level party and you guys are just screaming through it, which hopefully you won't be because we're gonna add some hard stuff in here. You can just kind of hit all the spots,
So you have a lot of natural lighting here, where you don't really need to turn on light. But will you be putting like torches or something here and there? 'Cause part of the reason why I ask is because I know a lot of players like to use the lights that you can turn on and off as an indicator that they've been down a certain hallway.
Probably. I'd like it to be something else. It kind of bugs me the fictionality of like who's the janitor of
Yeah.
the evil Viking dungeon that
but-
keeps these tended.
In some areas, you have those crashed. I mean, they don't have to be on,
Yeah, they could
at
be
the start,
off, and you can
but
go
you
light
have
them.
like mining lanterns or torches or whatever, just from the boats that were crashed or people who survived for a few hours before they
Yeah,
died.
people have been in here before you, so yeah, I don't see why not. We could put that in some of the areas.
Snugs asked what level is the dungeon. If you're asking the name, we don't have a name to share yet.
I think he's
If
asking
you're
the
asking
tier.
the
yeah.
tier, like super high tier is what the goal is, I think, right?
Tartarus Plus.
Tartarus?
Tartarus?
Oh, Tartarus.
That's Chris's name.
Yeah.
Hey,
I
why
just said
don't I-
Tartarus.
Oh yeah, it's as hard as the City of Love.
Yeah. Sean Butts wants to name it Tony.
Tony. I wanted to name it the Warrens, and then I just thought it'd be a stupid joke to name all the bosses like after Warrens. There's like specters, and then like a giant bear named like G or Gee or something. And then I thought that was too corny, so I'm not gonna do that.
So it's I guess definitely at least tier 8, probably tier 10. But
Yeah.
you want to do something where we sort of blur the lines with the tier because it won't be. It sounds like you won't be doing like individual and pairs of enemies that you come up to. You want to have like groups and even small hordes.
Yeah, I'd like
So
to.
that puts a different spin to the concept of the tier. So it might be a bunch of tier 8 guys, but there'll be enough of them that it kind of becomes like a tier 10 situation or
Yeah.
higher.
Well, there's one thing I think we could do better on, and that's like the whole idea of like minions and lieutenants, where we have a lot of dungeon where like here's a lot of people kind of in the same range and they have kind of similar loot, and that goes up and down. Where one thing I want to introduce in this dungeon is some really scary, don't have a lot of loot, but just hordes of bad guys in an obstacle as an obstacle to progress from area to area, and then you get to a set fight with like a lieutenant, and they have their whatever encounter is. Hopefully we get some cool encounter mechanics, all of the new Spider Queen boss, and things like that. So yeah, minions, and then a fight, and then progress to another area. So you're going to destinations, but you're just kind of not like troping through or tromping through. I guess it would be an RPG trope, but the same level guys stuff. So haven't done a hazard pass yet. Haven't done a trap pass yet, or a puzzle pass. Keith and I are going to collaborate on some of that stuff. But
Yeah, we had some ideas that we were spitballing the other day.
Yeah. New players do tier 8 to 10 alone, or do they get little escorts?
Well, he's got like the smiley face after, so maybe he's...
Yeah, we're gonna put some nasty stuff in here, even maybe some unkillable stuff, and then just watch as you guys try to kill it. Will this target full high-level parties in difficulty? That is absolutely the only reason for its creation. The answer is yes. Something new for you guys to do. Oh, Harding? I didn't think about Warren. So that was, this is what I've been working on. I'm going to go ahead and exit out of that.
Will there be fishing in there, by the way? It's Strider Green has.
It's saltwater here in the bay. You can throw a pole in if you want.
Oh, so it's not like a fetid thing, it's saltwater.
I may shrink. This bay is like they came from the ocean, so this should be salt. I may make another trigger so it's fetid on the inside.
So that's the starting area that we're looking at right there?
Yeah, this is kind of where you arrive.
Your default entry? Yeah.
Yeah. What I don't want to do is make an exterior, so we have a skybox, and then the sun and the sky is like beating down on the top of all my dungeon pieces, which is obscenely expensive, and our weather trigger volumes are not 100% reliable. So I'm gonna.
What we've done in some other scenes
we're
is
gonna
we have
fade
like, you can see through the crack, and we just have like a white space, bright light coming from out there. So while you're inside, your eyes are adjusted to the darkness, and so you'll never see the details.
There will be new monsters. They won't be like totally new silhouettes, new models, but I want to reskin some existing models and give them new behavior.
I like that Barbarian Undead idea. Anthrax has.
Yeah. No, I was just talking about like some nuisance. So if I want to make a battle, or we want to make a battle in our game, we have some economy issues, and if I just want it to be fun and fight 1,000 guys, just waves and waves to deal with and make it fun and oh my god, kill the horde. We don't want them all to be rolling off the loot level and break the economy and people run around picking up 9 million, rusty halberds. So that's just for the minion wave, like cool, like World War Z style, like just survive, and then you'll progress to like rooms and areas that have your typical, what you guys know of as loot tables, and hopefully some new, maybe new artifact. Maybe I would love a new crafting artifact akin to the mossy handle, but no promises on that. That takes other people's time. So you guys keep asking the same question about new monsters. I think I just answered that.
Yeah, there will be variants. It won't be new, like, well, I don't want to make up something. Like, it won't be a brand new creature that we've never seen before. It'll be a variation of something we have.
So as an example, there's the glowing wolves and wolves in Lost Vale. So think of a zombie that's like black and full of nasty smoke and shadow, and he's kind of like I don't know, Harry Potter. What do you call those? The Deathstalkers. So something like that. But the core model behind all the VFX is the old zombie model.
It takes a lot of work to make a brand new creature.
Yeah, animations.
There's a lot of special animation break stuff. There's
in general, yes, in the works, no ETA. Absolutely yes. I think Chris has covered that a lot in his streams. So yes, there will be new monsters in the game, new bosses in the game. I think really right now animations are the biggest. Our biggest what do you call it, because we have rigs that are meant, if you make a game, you can make a bunch of creatures, like here's a medium rig, and you make a bunch of different models that fit on the rig, so the animator, the animations can translate as best as possible. You don't want to do a whole lot of one-off rigs. But so if you buy something off the store, if we were to go like, hey, people are like, here's like a cool goblin on the store, why don't you just buy it? Like, well, it doesn't. It comes with a unique rig. None of our animations work on it, etc. None of its behaviors and pathfinding and movement and attack cycles. So, not a case of buying it and a checkbox. But yes, we definitely want some. I know that's super huge on Chris's priority list, and ours also. So eventually. When we get troll zombies, we're not going to give any ETAs. We learned our lesson. Can we make the dungeon biohazard weird colored water? Like, do you mean in your player created dungeon, Sarah, or do you mean this one? Zombie dolphins.
For those missed it, this dungeon we're looking at right here is an adventure scene. It's not a player dungeon setup.
Yeah. Ulfheim is not called Ulfheim. Just 1 second. Let me get the scene ID. So now we're going to load up what Keith has been working on. If you want to start talking about that, Keith.
So, Ulfheim, up to now, is what we call a clone scene. So it was a duplicate of a different scene that became sort of like a placeholder for the final Ulfheim. And in the middle of this placeholder scene, we swapped out some of the bad guys and put a house there. So that way there are barbarians in the middle. Because the intent is that it's the home, the capital, the heart of the barbarian community in our Shroud of the Avatar. And so until now, it's sort of stayed as this sort of barely modified clone scene. I guess Chris is chiming in about something.
In chat?
Yeah.
He's in the car with his family, by the way, so I don't know if they're at a rest stop.
Hopefully.
Or wife is driving. What did he say? I can't read the chat. What did he say?
I'm not sure what he's responding to, but he says, next release, I've said that for 2 releases, but this Wing of Dungeon playable in upcoming release.
Oh, that's me. That's me
Oh, that's
talking.
you.
I was letting you talk. I didn't want to talk over you.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, Atos is in the car driving with his family, so I sincerely hope he's not driving and watching Twitch chat at the same time.
Okay. So Ulfheim, I've been reimagining Ulfheim. Some of you have been watching the streams during the middle of the week. Sometimes I've been substituting Chris, Atos Spears, and showing off some of my reworking of Ulfheim. So Ulfheim, the intent is to make it a high threat scene for the highest level players. So I guess you just switch to Ulfheim right now, and if you pivot down, we'll see what Ulfheim currently looks like.
Oh, yeah, here, let me show you.
No.
Before, after?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, oh, so, yeah, okay.
Oh, let's not have them both up. What could go wrong?
So it will still be all the resources and special creatures that we had in the old Ulfheim, the one we're looking at right now. Travis says everything's selected, so it's all the circles. But
yeah, the parent object, yeah. This Ulfheim, as you know it and love
so
it.
If there's a special bear, or wolf, or spider, whatever in here, we're going to keep them in the revised version. We don't want to take any of those out. If there's like a ton of cotton plants here and there, we're going to leave them in. I know people have said specifically about cotton. I'm not going to ruin it. It'll be shuffled around because you'll see the layout will be a lot different from this current version we're looking at to what we're about to see.
Yeah, I know sometimes the world builders get really excited about a new epic idea, and all anybody cares about is their cotton per hour. So if you guys have a source and are used to it,
things will shuffle around. There'll be the same amount of ore, but it'll be moved around, and a little bit like Granus Colossus, or maybe a lot like Granus Colossus. There will be sections of the scene that are you have to fight through in order to open up the next section. So some of those resources you're trying to get might be in the next section.
Not everyone's about cotton. What about the wood per hour? Thank you guys for the bits. Also, sorry I'm not the best at streaming and watching chat at the same time, but thank you for follows and bits and all
So yeah, it would be the same wood, although the pieces would be moved around the board a bit. So uh, there are four main sections. So if you go, yeah, go in that way. Uh, so turn to the right, and if you look in, you're missing the terrain.
Why am I missing the terrain?
I don't know. Did you turn on the whole thing?
I did. Wolfheim Reimagined. Does that not turn everything on at once?
It should.
Environment, random encounter.
So in that parent folder, there should be the new terrain in there.
Let's just look for it. I'm gonna guess it's this one. There's V2, which is turned off.
Turn it on, I guess.
Well, V2 was on. Terrain fakery. Let's turn that off. Alright. V2, I'm gonna guess is the new one? Yeah, where's your terrain, Keith?
I don't know. You turn stuff off all over the place. I don't know what's going on.
You're going too fast. Is it named terrain? Well, me turning it on doesn't seem like it's actually turning it on either. Probably because it's in a child that's turned off. Did you move the terrain into the new folder? Maybe you didn't? Hold on a sec. Technical difficulties.
Yeah. So I will tell you how I see it in mine for a second. So if you look, if you do a search for _V2, it'll be terrain _V2.
Yeah, that's on. We can also do the shared screen thing if I don't have the. Let me do a force sync. Pay no attention to our Perforce login chat, which I just streamed. I'm gonna do a force sync and then maybe I'll just magically appear. So bear with us.
I don't know what those bridge is.
Oh, that?
Yeah. That stone bridge.
I'm in Novia R9 Forest 0203, correct?
Yes. So I'll keep talking about it. So there'll be a few main sections. There'll be the default area that you enter into, which is just like big open forest. And you could that'll be the whole scene is currently called Tier 8+. So you Tier 8 guys will be on the outside. So anyone just want to come in, fight stuff, and harvest some resources, that's there. But if you want to go through the first gate to the valley section where the barbarians live, that is where the first wave battle will fight. And so similar to Grannis Colossus, you go in the gate, you go in a certain depth into that valley, and then the gate closed, you're locked in, and it's win or die. And if you win, then the front and back gate open up, and you can advance through to the next section. The valley itself, the concept is that it's kind of where the barbarians prepare to go out hunting, and then also take care of the things that they win, you know, all the deer and bear and whatever that they kill and bring back, and then they prepare the meat and skins and stuff for their community. And then so past that valley, you'll go up a ramp to the treehouse area. And so we've seen the barbarians in other places. They live kind of primitively. They sleep on skins, and often they will have tree houses. So we're sort of embracing that kind of thing. And the base of the treehouse area is kind of open. You can fight stuff there, and then you'll go up some ramps and across some bridges through some of the tree houses themselves, and fight some bad guys. And when you finish at the last part of the treehouse, you'll go across the big long bridge that we see in front of us, and then you'll get to what's called what I'm calling in my mind the village area. So the village area, we start seeing a higher level of quality that we don't normally see with barbarians. So the barbarians, they can make tools. They can they're woodworkers. They're blacksmiths. You know, they can make the stuff. They just don't normally use it out in their outposts that we normally see.
Oh, I think I have testing lab Ulfheim on, and we don't want that. Is that correct? You might have to load this up.
I don't know what that is.
Do you have your editor open, Keith? We might have to load this up and then share your screen because I don't know what to turn on and turn off.
All right. Yep.
This is testing lab. That looks like it has the trees.
Yeah, and that should be on.
But you're saying this bridge is some weird bogus thing?
I don't know what that stone bridge is.
It's part of environment random encounter? You would kill that? Oh, yay! Is this what we want? There's still no terrain. V2.
It's yeah. I almost feel like you might not have latest or something.
I just got latest and waited a long time. Did you check it in recently, or do you have it locally?
No, I checked it in.
Okay. Well, I don't have your terrain. Yeah, why don't you load up... He's going to load up the editor, and then he's going to share his screen via Skype,
Yeah.
and then we'll just... we'll stream what he has.
Actually, let me ask you this. So if you click on that the terrain V2 and
That's
you
what I
look at the
selected.
terrain data, what does it have in there?
It's missing.
Oh,
I don't think you
So,
checked in your terrain data.
maybe something went wrong there.
But you got it
Alright.
locally. So fire it up, and then we'll just chat with the good folks until he fires it up.
Yeah. All right.
All of this stuff is not published, and we just came through a release, and we tried to not check in giant projects with a bunch of stuff to break the build. So I have a lot of local stuff
I'm
also.
gonna
that
put a
I
note
don't
for myself. Terrain for.
But I'm digging the tree houses and stuff. This is cool.
Oh, we got another prize name.
Oh yeah, 445. You want to read them off?
Yes, I do. No, these names. Some of these names would be looked up. Okay.
I'll help if I recognize them.
Panaeolus, Panaeolus. Panaeolus.
Penalius? No.
Anyway, you get the brown tricorn hat, even though I can't pronounce your name.
Cool.
Graham Wormsbane gets the water.org glowing mug.
Cool. Those are cool. I like this.
Catherine Rose gets the ornate wealthy merchant outfit.
Nice.
Who is the tank? Gets ornate outhouse from water.org charity.
I'm pretty sure that's the same game name too. Or
Solstice. I don't know if it's Solstice or Solstice. It's probably Solstice, I guess. You get the Shogun bathtub.
Cool.
And then Dainty Flower gets the rustic 3-story village water home.
Oh, cool. I love that house. I have 4 houses in the game, and that's one of them. It's my second or third favorite house. It's a beautiful house.
Black Alley Cats has just found out this game existed last week, just now seeing the stream.
Oh, yeah.
We're happy here.
Cool. Well, welcome to Shroud. You can friend Sanio. Type that out. Sanio. Liz Rostov. Gotta do Lord British. Atos. Who else? Darkstar.
Black Alley Cat. We have, every once in a while, we give away prizes. We call it the prize name sometimes. And you just missed the one we had. But if you say happy belated birthday, Lord British, in the game, then that can add you to the.
Are we gonna do? Was that the last
That's
pricing, or we do one
That
more
was.
at the
That
end?
was just
Okay.
the two.
So next time on Friday streams, you do the
Yeah,
phrase.
next
So if you guys just checked in, you kind of just miss it. Oh, thanks for the bits, folk. We appreciate the bits. We kind of just do it for exposure to the game and follows and get people in and people excited about stuff to come. Is your editor still open?
Yeah, I'm trying to maximize. Not doing it.
Cool.
Hold on one second. There.
We have a great community. There's
Alright.
if you're new to the game, I'm gonna type it out. I think I have permissions to do links. So SodaHelp.org has a ton of instructional videos. Elgarian curates them to keep them. He gets rid of expired ones or irrelevant ones. Keeps it all current information. Just about any topic you could imagine. So it's a pretty deep game with a lot of complex systems. So that is a great resource to go kind of, if you have a specific question, wrap your hand around things.
All right, I think I'm ready to do the screen sharing. All
Okay,
right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Sharing screen. Here we go.
We'll see what Sanio's got.
Let's see if this works.
Elgroin? Is that his nickname? Cool, sounds like Black Alley sound fun. Well, everyone, welcome Black Alley Cat, whatever their username is. You don't have to say it in the chat if you don't want to. Their character name.
I forgot to hit the final button. I think you might get it right now.
Oh, I don't want to share my screen. I want to make you big. Let's see. There we go. Let's move this. Can you hide Skype?
Does it look right?
Yeah. I mean, we got borders and stuff, but they get the gist of it. So right, Keith has been working on this. Still work in progress, but he's one of the few people on the team that I trust to do some like world building, including like art and plants and terrain and stuff. Some people love to chip in, but you kind of watch it and it's like, oh man, please don't do that. I'm gonna have to go clean that up. As they would say if we were to hop in and start coding or animating or something we're not qualified to do. But Keith does a great job, so full confidence. I'm gonna close the editor so we get. It'll be a little framey since we're. Sorry, I closed that. Since he's sharing his screen via Skype, so.
Yeah. So this. Close another thing. There we go. So this right here, it's work in progress. It's still kind of blocked out here. I haven't done much, but this will be the open area I was talking about, where you can just fight things in general. It'll be obviously more interesting than this basic blockout.
Yeah.
And this is where I said you can go in. I like to run around in my hospital gown, by the way.
Sorry for the pixelation. It's the he's sharing his stream via Skype, so
I won't move too much. So what I put in recently, since the last time I broadcast, was I put in these trees and grass.
Nice.
Some lights. See some of that stuff.
And contrary to popular belief, grass can grow where there is snow. I think we had some grass touching some snow, and a lot of people wrote a bug report. But growing up in Colorado, I know you're from the Northeast, Keith. Sometimes it snows when there's grass.
Yeah. So my snow concept here is that it's not a like full-on snow biome. It is probably the snow came recently and melted fairly quickly. So the grass isn't all dead necessarily from being buried by the snow, and it didn't go away too early. So that's why there's a lot of things without snow on it as well. So I've come in here, and if in the final setup, I would have been triggering the wave battle, and you can see the special magical thing indicates that I can't open that door yet. And something really important for Alfheim are going to be these side activities, and they will relate to the virtues. I'm going up to one of these cages to talk about what the side activities are. So we have three principal virtues in the game. So the virtues are truth, love, and courage. And some things you do in the game can give you plus one of those virtues and minus one of those virtues. So altogether that makes 6 possible directions. Plus love, plus courage, plus truth, minus truth. And I want you to be able to adjust some of those virtue scores in this activity. So there'll be 5 activities in here. If you don't do any one of the 5 activities, it defaults to plus courage. So the example right here in front of us, this cage, there'll be a wolf in there, a mistreated wolf, I think is what I call it. If you and there will be 3 of these cages. There's one here in the valley, one in the treehouse area, one in the village. If you commit to freeing all 3 wolves, that's considered a plus love activity. So 2 things will happen because of your efforts. You will, in the final battle, when you're fighting the leader of the barbarians, you will affect that battle because of what you did. So if you don't free these wolves, there will be mistreated wolves in the final battle. If you do free the wolves, they won't be there. There'll be something else in their place. But you'll be changing the final battle because of your actions. And then the second thing that'll happen is because it's a plus love activity. That means that when the battle is over, whoever helped defeat the bad guy, you will get a good amount of love points at the end. So that's one of the activities, and like I said, there are 5 of them. Let me just sort of scoot around. So you'll have to get the key to free the wolves, and you'll need a new key for each.
Which I think
another activity
is
right
super
here.
cool. These like repeatable virtue kind of choose your path.
Right.
I think it's awesome.
What's kind of nice is that if you didn't really care about your virtue points before, or if you're an older player and we didn't really have opportunities to sort of manage your virtue in any way, you can kind of use this to maybe sort of like move the needle one way or another,
or
as per your preference.
Or if you're Antrax Artek and you bought some new spears and you want the bonuses, and
oh yeah,
I told you we were talking about it, so here's one new way that's coming.
So here's another one. If you read this wisdom, you'll get tactical advantage in the final battle. And I believe what happens is where there's normally wyverns in the final battle, they may not be there because you have. So that's how that works. I want you to the game changes because of your decisions in here. You will change the final battle, and you will be rewarded for it, not just with normal rewards, experience and loot, but also your virtue. And if you want your virtue to sort of like, if you want your courage score to drop really hard, you can do that. If you want your love score to like shoot up out, then you can just keep playing the scene. Hopefully you like it.
Yeah. I like my black shroud, so I'll be doing the despicable path, or just go kill a bunch of unicorns to undo it.
Yeah, this is the valley. We just changed the time of day.
We know what you meant, Truebot.
And I will just shoot up to the other area because I know it's a little choppy. So
100 so fast. I'm going so fast. Oh, this is a cool little barbarian. And keep in mind, he's still working on it, and he's got plenty of time to polish it and do terrain work and props and stuff. But look, so far so good. I like it.
Yeah, a lot of these areas are getting close to where they should be. There's still a lot more props I need to add.
Thanks, Ronaldi. Yeah, I think it sounds cool too. I can't wait to play it.
There's a cage in front of us right here.
Yeah, the choppiness again. He's sharing his screen via Skype, which I am then sharing with you via OBS.
Because I didn't check my terrain properly. And Travis does not have it.
Yeah, no problem though. They get the gist, and you can talk about it.
Yeah. So right here, this is another one of the activities. If you do all 3 of these precious totems,
oh nice,
you have to chop it up. And if you don't have an axe somewhere nearby, it will have an axe for you.
In the stump, of course. Get yourself an axe. Is that a harvesting tool axe?
I actually think you don't need the axe. I think
just fictional.
Oh, maybe you do need the axe.
Everybody starts the game with an axe, so you're fine.
Oh, you can just shoot it. Okay.
Oh, destroy it like that. I thought it was harvestable. Gotcha.
Now I got a little tip. You can see the little tip that talks about how it will affect your love reputation. And we don't normally do that in other places, but there's special mechanics going on here. So I want you to be informed about what you're about to do. If you really want to improve your love reputation or reduce courage or whatever, then
mind your matters.
You can stop that activity. You don't have to finish it. But once you commit to one, so right now I just committed to that, the one that relates to that. If I don't do all 3, then basically I'll just get the default plus courage activity. But if I do all 3, then I think that was the negative love. So I can go up these across this bridge up to the next area, and you can see the next bridge leads to the third area, which
Cool. As a kid, I was really disappointed. It was kind of those like, uh, the adults cut corners realization that I got the Star Wars Ewok Village for like Christmas or something, and I'd want it forever. The action figure one, and then Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves came out, and they released an action figure, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves Tree Village, and it was the same plastic exact model. And it kind of. I was older by the time Robin Hood came out, but it was kind of like, I see what you did. But I'm loving the Tree Village. I love the Swiss Family Robinson / whatever. It's cool.
so another activity is in here.
And ignore, obviously,
Right, that's pretty much-
this is a work in progress, so he has his
Yeah.
designer notes, and you're seeing all kind of stuff.
Yeah, these big floating white text that won't be there in your version.
What are they cooking?
So they're cooking some soup, but if you look down here, it's a bag of rancid food. You can actually poison the soup, and that'll mean less a certain type of barbarians because they drank the soup and they're not in the final battle.
Does that affect your virtue for poisoning the barbarians?
It is one of the side activities. So
This is cool. I love all the switches, and that's something that Keith is really good at is functionality and interactivity and goals and stuff like that. So.
I'm worried about the trees and stuff. I'm always trying to pay attention to like the path grid is the big thing for me. Like if you get blocked or NPCs get stuck somewhere,
Yeah.
then I have to go in and fix it. So
Yeah, playable space.
I'm very proactive about making sure of that stuff.
Same. We put some stalagmites down. I know that's a stuck spot, so just fix it now before somebody writes a report.
So you're not going to be able to get into these side buildings. Oh, this guy, yeah, can spawn here. And then
You're gonna die.
oh,
Oh, rip. I want to ghost it. Did your hospital gown not shield you from their arrows? Yeah, you need a T on it. Put a fly in the suit. Is that a Sesame Street reference?
this is the second wave battle here. When you defeat these guys, then this door will open.
Can you go in that house? That kind of fancy house back there?
You will not be able to go into that house.
Okay.
Although I'm considering, the answer is no, but I have a small germ of an idea that maybe when you defeat the wave battle, maybe just the ground floor opens and you get some sort of like side reward.
Is that
Because,
what the magical barriers mean? Can't go in here?
yeah, it means a player has no way to open that door.
Yeah. Maybe we'll give you some we'll bar them up or a special lock or something too.
Well, the barbarians live here. If there's a bar, that's fine. It shouldn't look like everyone moved out and there's these sloppy boards nailed to it. But yeah, if there's something better, alternate, that's fine. I'd like to not use the same magical barrier that we're using.
Yeah, because that
On
kind of
gates.
means you can go do something and get
It kind of
rid
means
of
it would open up at some
Yeah,
point.
it's an actual in the world spell. Well, we'll talk about it later, but
Yeah, it's a little mismatch.
it's cool though.
So, so this is a super rough placeholder for the final battle, the Grand Hall. So this is where you'll go for the third wave battle, which is where you'll fight the toughest barbarians, and then it will also and also this is the battle that has been affected by your decisions earlier on, assuming you participated in the little side activities.
That's super cool. So depending on what you've done until this point will affect what spawns in here. That's what you're
Yeah,
saying?
and it's super tricky with how I have to set this up, but
Yeah, it sounds like it.
we definitely need to play it behind the scenes to make sure everything works before we make it live. And I'm confident that it's okay, but one little thing that's not connected to something else can sort of potentially have a
Right.
cascading effect of breakage. So we got to share it. But this is where you'll fight the battle that is affected by your decisions. It's a wave battle, and then also the big bad will jump out at the end, and you'll beat him and then get your reward. Presumably you'll beat him. So I'll also say that a player decides, you know what, I can't do this. All my friends abandoned me. I hate them all. I'm gonna unfriend them. If you want to get out and some of these things are locked, I'm gonna have some sort of, well, maybe not there, but I'll have some sort of way for you to uh,
Yeah, kind of like the vines to just
back up.
get the heck out.
Yeah, yeah. We have these
Run away.
ladders that are part of the set that you'll be able to use to get out.
Cool. I like the.
I'll have something here, but yeah, I haven't put it in. Like I said, back to what we were saying, it's block out.
I like the aesthetic. The northerner wood kind of deal and working through the village and.
Yeah, and then a future stretch goal is for those players who know about Lost Vale. We have this hard mode gimmick in Lost Vale that I had set up, which was if you use your memory fragments, you can turn those in to the side activity you're about to do, uh, uh, and you can make that area harder. So what I kind of want to do is uh, any single player can go through the tree area, and that's fine. And then in here somehow, I want to have a special switch that opens a door right here. And if you have one person just flipping the switch, then it's normal. If you have four people flipping the switch, then it goes to hard mode. I want it to be hard mode means
Oh, optional.
probably
Yeah.
mean like this fight is tougher, maybe this area is tougher, maybe the final battle is tougher. I'm not exactly sure what it means,
Cool.
but I want it to be like, I don't know, 6 to 8 times tougher if you are four people together wanting that hard mode experience. But that's a future goal. I'm keeping it in mind as I set this up. I'm trying to think ahead. But first things first. Let's rework the scene and get into
Yeah, I like
my
it.
basic wave battle stuff that I want to have in here.
Because we released Lost Vale and then hard mode was added later and it kind of went in pretty seamlessly. It was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
but I knew I wanted it.
Yeah.
I brought it up. People didn't really sort of think too much about it, but it was important to me to get in that hard mode.
Yeah, the
Uh,
hard mode will be the optional, not the easier will be the default. I think Gwendolyn's saying she likes that.
some floating stuff here. It's not done.
Yeah.
Oh, here, this is another side activity. I think I might change this. This is sort of a destroy art kind of side.
Irreplaceable. It's like passed through generations and generations.
Yeah, but I don't want to just use this urn. I want to have something that's a little nicer. And I didn't want to have just like another, nice looking wolf thing. And I like the wolf here because we have these totem carvings in other scenes, and this is Alfheim, and Alpha's kind of our barbarian talk for wolf, kind of a Norse-ish kind of thing. And so that made sense here. But the art, I want the art to be something else.
Yeah, the parts that you've done and decorated that seen off the bridge look good. So look forward to seeing the rest of it look that good.
Thanks. I put some of these in here. So the hunters, before they go out, this is where they prepare, they get ready.
Cool. And this will all be populated with hunters and things like that, right?
Yeah, there'll be regular barbarians here, plus the special ones that make sure, the way battle versions.
Cool. I can't wait to play it. It sounds really cool by the way you described it. And I love the virtue, how do you say it? The
Side activities?
Yeah, it affects your virtue. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it will affect the virtue of the people who participate. It won't affect your virtue on each interaction with those things, only once you succeed in the final battle.
Oh, that's great. So, yeah, they can't just farm the one
Right.
activity, just
Yeah,
go through and
you
do
have
the
to
whole
do the
thing.
whole thing to get the final reward.
That's great. I love it. Oh, there's a couple guys. Looks like he started to spawn.
Yeah, it's accidental. This
Oh, is that left over from the old one, but it just happens to
no,
match
he's a
the...
new guy. He just shouldn't be spawning up here because
Oh, weird.
it's an accident. Like, I don't have an ad mesh up here, so there really shouldn't be any guys spawning. They should be falling through the ground. But
Oh, and if we're going to talk about new upcoming adventure areas, I know there's another level of Tartarus in the work, and that's Chris's baby, so I'm not going to speak for him. I'm not sure the ETA on that, but that dungeon's also going to expand, so that's some more adventure content you guys can look forward to. And
I'll
then...
mention something.
Yeah, go ahead, Kate, sorry.
I was gonna say, I want these rock walls to be impossible to climb. Because I don't want you to be able to just skip out on content. I want you
Yeah.
to have to fight these guys and then go up to the treehouse area up there and then cross the bridge. I don't want you to be able to sort of like just jump up the side and
Right.
just skip so much. I don't want you to just jump right up to the village up there.
When do you get the chicken room? The chicken room was before I started. Was the chicken room around when you started, Keith? I think you're post chicken room too.
The chicken room was like the first room that they made. That was it the first room that a player can log into, or
Yeah, it was like
first
the first
multiplayer?
it was like here's our game, it's playable, log into it, which nobody ever
I've,
does MMO wise, but like
I've actually never seen it. I don't even know if we still have it in the project.
how about devs taking control of boss when in battle NPCs don't have real tactics? So that's a two-part answer. One is someday, yes, that would be awesome. We love that.
Yeah.
Um, we did that every. This is my second MMO working with Lord British and crew, and that was the thing we really like to do was seers or whatever you call them, devs spawning things and starting up quests. So
I was a
yes,
seer.
were you say I applied.
Seer Sanyo.
I was applying to be a seer because I was a counselor, and then my future boss realized that I had faked my age in order to be accepted to the program, and then so they cut me from the program. But and the second part to NPCs don't have real tactics. We have all kinds of cool new boss tactics that we're talking about internally for upcoming. I'm not gonna. I'll mention some of them are like prismatic shield, where you hit them with one damage type and they're immune to that damage type, and they hold up to 3 of those. So you have to keep mixing it up. I think Chris did a great job with the spiders and the spider minions that you have to keep them alive, and he's gonna keep toying with more boss battle mechanics. We realize we need more than trading numbers. So some
Something
more.
I keep bringing up, and hopefully we start integrating this kind of thing, is I think the environment should be part of the boss battle too.
Yeah.
And it could be passive. It could be just flame spouts.
Yeah,
Or
pattern
something like that.
of
That's
flame
fine.
shots, or it could be triggered with switches and things like that. So
Yeah. And one thing I like is there's a room in, is it Crawl, where there's
that's
a battle
that's
on the
incredible.
lower level, and then an upper tier which is separated by a fence, and then you could see, if you're down in the middle, you could see kobolds walking back, and they are walking back and forth on these pressure plates, and pressure plates creates when they step on it, creates a hazard in the main area.
Yeah.
So these NPCs are uh, basically randomly, although I guess they're on patrol class, but they are passively creating environmental changes depending on what's going on.
And players
So if
can go
somebody
up
wants
there
to go
and
up
do
there
it
and
too.
kill those kobolds, then that'll stop the environmental hazards. So that's how you bring the environment into the whole thing. I don't know why I'm moving hands like this. I don't know how that's.
Yeah, but like new, more exciting versions of that. So agree with you, and yes, both of those things sound super good. I just wrote a note that the actual damage from the spike traps is like next to nothing, and we now have the ability to go do that on our own. So, yeah, we're talking about yeah, we don't want to just trade numbers with add more zeros and trade more zeros, and but yeah, some cool functionality and boss fights. Chris has done a great job lately of kind of the boss fights you've seen him set up recently with. Like destroy the Krampus notes, or I'm sorry, the NB notes for Valentine's, and the Krampus stuff, and so all these are like kind of making the functionality, which are precursors to more interesting boss fights. So we got new functionality. There are tools that we can turn in and use again. So.
I think is that everything?
Yeah, that's all fine, and that's my dungeon not named the Warrens, yet to be named. So far, there's a couple areas I didn't show on it, and we will continue to work on those. But thank you guys for tuning in and playing the game.
I'll also mention I don't think there's a hard time frame for either one of these two dungeons.
I'm going to try to get mine playable this release. I've said that 2 releases in a row, so I really want to get it out. Yeah.
Yeah, with me, like I had a lot of complex mechanisms to set up.
Yeah, you did. It looks like it.
So that took a while, and then I'm not as fast as a world builder as you are, or like Source of Steve, Seawolf.
Well, I'm the opposite. The functionality and the triggers slow me down. So we'll collaborate, and I'll work on his, and he'll work on mine, hopefully. So, does anybody have any in-game events coming up that they would like to announce? I can bring up the page too, and we can look at those. The if you guys didn't make the fashion party last night, it was awesome. Taiki and B Striker hosted the summer 2019 fashion show. The venue looked great. It was super cool. And then I thought the highlight was Taiki dressed up in real life in the outfit that she wears. And then the tea party that Lily Bird has was super fun. So a lot of these events, I've been to a couple of them recently, and they were just fantastic. So if you guys have a new event that you guys want us to talk about, put it in the Release R68 events section of the forums. So just go to forums and then player events, and then it looks like these. Somebody was asking. Somebody had a PvP event tonight, and they were requesting. Is that the Shogun? Let me look at the date on this. Oh, okay. That is starting tonight. That is in Shogun Ridge. There's a PvP event for Christopher Reeves. Look in the forums for details on that. I knew there was one I was forgetting about. Who won the contest? The contest for the fashion show, there was like 3 different categories. Oh man, I'm gonna forget who won each categories. Strider, did you win male? And then I think Ashley Star Sapphire won female. I forget who won the fairy category, but it was super cool. I know Sonia was in there, and a lot of people were in there. In-game timers to start and stop a race, for example. Oh, like a shout, like a... I could say maybe you could do like a bark, maybe if you were the governor, like a roll. I don't know, Majori, I like the idea. I can't tell you when, but I like the idea. Here, let me write that down. I don't know if anybody's mentioned it before, so yeah, I know. What area was that Sorcerer Steve made where they had the obstacle course? I love the obstacle course. It's like a boot camp obstacle course.
It was a town. It was an NPC city.
Yeah,
I don't
with the hospital. Yeah, I love that city. I can't think of the name off the top of my head.
The hospital.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Like
West End.
West End. Yeah. Yeah. So people.
By the way, I didn't post the second prize links into the chat like I did the first time, so I'm gonna do that right now.
So yeah, sorry, I guess we couldn't answer all the questions that involved crafting or tech, but those of you who did the exclamation mark question, those get entered into a log, and those do get looked at and combed over for ideas and suggestions and improvements and balance, and we do look at those. So congratulations to all the prize winners. Thank you guys for logging in and playing the game. We love you guys. We really appreciate it. We do this so you guys get like a peek at what we're working on, and we stay in contact and followers and get new eyes on the games. Thank you for everybody who threw in bits. I think I did a really bad job of thanking people for bits, so thank you for that, everybody. But we'll see you in the game and on future live stream.
Yeah. We're racing right now?
Yeah, I'm driving. It's weird. I never drive. Okay. So I was about to okay, thanks guys. All right. Here, let's look. I can do the random thing. I'm not in game. Let's see here. I'm gonna look who's streaming right now. I like the random. Yeah. I need that as a category. Yeah. It looks like we got.
By the way, I mentioned to you before, I like doing the streams with Alfheim because it kind of forces me to keep coming back to Alfheim to get it done. Because I really want to get it done, but there's so much other stuff that keeps coming up, and it sort of kind of forces me to...
Alright, we got us, and we got Strider Green, and we got Bonger. I know Crispy Car's on, but he kind of keeps the stream on when he's at work. He's not necessarily there. So I will use my challenge coin. Ooh, what is this one? Oh, this isn't a challenge coin. Do you remember this, Keith? This is I get a free sandwich from Witch because I messed my order up, but I thought the coin...
yeah.
I thought the coin was cool, so I kept it. Alright, I'll do this. It's exactly the same size.
The next day, just hoping that they would mess up my order.
Alright, I'll flip it. Heads is Bonger, tails is Strider.
Okay. Chris did Bonger yesterday, FYI.
Oh, Heads is
Yes.
Bunger. It's Bunger again.
Sometimes 2 days in a row.
All right,
That's
thanks
the
everybody.
nature of randomness.
Give Bunger a follow. Say hi to him. We'll see you in the game. All right, so I do raid.
I like the spin emote they've been doing, by the way. I just love.
Oh, that's a good
doing
one.
it.
That's a good
Yeah.
one for screenshots because if you do the, if I'm taking a screenshot of like, here's a giant statue, like look at my statue, you can do the like welcome, but you can't freeze it. But I just do that one and I wait until he spins it around and I do it like that.
It was a Serafina request. So if you guys remember Sarah, she was the one who specifically asked.
Sorry,
Well, you get
Pablos.
bats.
Well, you can
Yeah,
manually make your way to Strider Green's channel if you so choose. We miss Serafina too, but we're all still in contact with her on Facebook and all that. I know Chris says. All right, raid incoming.
Thanks again, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend. We'll see you in the game. You guys are awesome. Help those new users. I know, was it Hellcat with 3 L's or something? Everybody friend them, show them around. Raid now. Here we go.
All right. Shroud the Avatar's reigning with a party of 116. He's got a 5